On McGraw Live in the Morning.
941, Big 550 KTRS. We've got Jane Duker. We've got Chad Garrison from the Riverfront Times and Ed Martin, who is the chairman of the Republican Party. Ed, there is an interesting story going on in the little town of Berkeley. What's going on there?
Berkeley, Missouri.
Berkeley, Missouri. That is correct.
California, to
yes.
be clear. Well, look, all the details, I only see the Post-Dispatch and what I've heard. But again, Ted Hoskins, the mayor up there, who was a state rep for a number of years and been a leader in the community, I think he's moving forward as one of the definitive leaders in the St. Louis metropolitan area. He has had clarity. He has been a national spokesman. In this case, he said to some people that came in that were unable to prove that they are citizens, Mexicans, that if they're not citizens here, if they're not citizens, if they're not appropriately here under the law,
if they're not here legally,
then they should not be getting residency. This is a matter that's being litigated, continues to be litigated. We have an epidemic in America of undocumented illegal aliens who have come here, and we have to have local leaders who are willing to step up and enforce what is common sense policy. Forget about, I know Jane's going to object to the federal law aspect. What is common sense policy?
That whole federal law.
No, I mean, and a local jurisdiction has every right to say, if you want to be here, you have to play by certain rules, and we have to do it. And so I think Ted Hoskins is a hero.
I'm confused a little bit. So this Mexican family wants to live in Berkeley.
Sure.
Yeah.
They had to go and get an occupancy permit so that they could live in Berkeley.
Right.
It was rejected by Berkeley because
By
they
the
didn't
mayor.
show proper ID.
Correct.
Well, first of all,
You have to show identification
Everywhere
of some
I've ever
kind.
moved, I've never had to get an occupancy
no, they
permit.
have ID. And they have an ID. It's just Ted Hoskins, the mayor, thinks that he's INS now, and he's not. And federal law prohibits him from, trying to determine himself whether somebody is legally within this country. We don't know yet whether they are or not, but he wasn't satisfied.
They can prove it very easily by showing the paperwork that says they're here legally, and they haven't.
They don't
which
have
makes it
to.
so that a normal public policy position would be: if you can't show us why you're here, if your identification is off base, if we have reason to think that you're not the abiding by the law, we're going to ask you. And if you want to solve the problem, solve the problem. If I pull you over, Jane, and I'm a law enforcement, I say, you have a driver's license? You say, I'm not telling you. You say, well,
No,
you may have
that's
one.
different.
But why is
But
it
hold
different?
on a second.
It's completely different. He is not authorized to ask people
Of course
for
he is.
purposes for
He's the
purpose of
mayor
housing.
of
No,
a
he is
So
not.
He's going to live in a
And-
house? I mean,
Right. Of
course, they're asking
I
for an
would think that
occupancy
you'd be.
permit.
I mean, you're Mr. Tea Party. You're opposed to big government. I mean,
Mr.
here
Tea
you
Party,
have
too.
you
Right.
have
Interfering.
government coming into people's lives and saying, you can't, I'm the mayor of this town, and you have to show me your ID in order to live here.
On behalf of Mr. Tea Party,
doesn't
which
ask
sounds like a
anyone
great
else
stuffed
about
animal
their
or something.
status, just the
what you
Mexicans.
expect is that the local community, because we have an epidemic, this is not new.
An epidemic? Where?
In
Here
America.
We're
in
begging
Amer-
people
11
to
million
come to
people.
St. Louis.
Yeah, I mean,
20
Berkeley could
million
use some people,
And
probably.
illegally. And if you have 20 million people here in America illegally, what happens? Chad, you and I'll agree on this. Wages drop. Illegal immigration drops wages, right,
Oh
for
my
low-income
God.
workers.
This is
and
everything
they
that's
take
wrong.
social
Right here.
services, and they take away from other people's opportunities. So it is fair as a public policy leader, and Tea Party says if you're a local Berkeley mayor, you can have rules that govern your community. And if people don't like those rules, you can. Ted Hoskins doesn't, I don't think you can call him a racist. I think you can call him a leader
Well,
who's...
you could maybe.
Because
Really?
he doesn't check
Okay.
I
other
mean, does he
people's
check off?
credentials.
What about Berkeley is? I think it's over 80% black. There's a lot of black Hispanics from like the Dominican Republic or wherever. Is he checking every single black resident and saying
as a
like,
matter
what's
of
your
public
nationality?
policy, if
But
a
no, he sees
He's not allowed to under federal law.
A point of question here. I've moved a number of times over the last
And no
couple of
one's
years.
ever checked
I've
your-
never gotten an occupancy permit to move anywhere.
Correct.
Why? I don't understand
The
that.
owner, there are even a renter. That's what's even funny about it is they want to rent. So the occupancy permit is supposed to be obtained by the person who owns the building anyway. So that's what makes this all a little goofy. And the idea that, we want everybody in the whole world to come here and protest, but we've got somebody who actually wants to come here, bring their family, live and work in Berkeley.
I'm on the team that doesn't want everybody to come
Well,
here and protest.
but
I'm not interested in those morons coming in from Chicago.
St. Louis is having enough trouble getting people to come here, and
So
we're
your,
going to
so your
start.
solution is let Cronky go, and we'll bring the illegals here. Welcome.
Oh,
you're
my
with the
goodness.
Mayor Slay, Charlie Dooley. Bring
Yeah.
the illegal aliens here. It's
pretty good at putting words in people's mouths.
isn't it
Is
great? I know, it is a
Is that
skill.
the game?
John Beale's looking pretty good these days, isn't he?
Right. I mean, seriously.
I mean, these things are the type of like restrictive
We look
housing
silly.
covenants that I think
Chad,
that a
come
lot of
on.
a lot of the
All
people
minority
in,
lives
in-
matter.
Nobody-
All minorities matter.
All minorities matter. What we're saying is everyone, a public policy leader, anyone who is not clueless, sees a problem with illegal immigration. If you don't think there's a problem
Do you
with
think that there's a huge problem with illegal immigration in Berkeley,
people are
Missouri?
clamoring to
everywhere
come
in
here.
America, our wages are depressed, our people are out of work, and we're not being able to afford social services and education because why? Because we have a system that's allowed 20 million people to come in,
No,
lower
because
our
we have-
wages,
That is
take our
not the
jobs.
No, we have the
It's not
Tea Party
true.
starving education. We have the Tea Party
Where?
starving health care. That's why we're
20
having
million
trouble, not the
people are in this
illegals.
Yeah.
country, and
Cutting
if you don't,
taxes
if you
for-
don't care about the jobs that have gone to China and everywhere else because of trade, then you don't care about low wages either here. But that's what's happening. So if Ted Hoskins wants to say, "Hey, in our town of Berkeley, if you come in and can't produce an ID, we can find out more facts."
Because America, damn it.
What?
America.
I mean,
I don't know.
well,
Put words in Ted Hoskins? I mean,
but the mayor of Berkeley is. I think their argument is the mayor of Berkeley isn't the last line or the first line of defense in illegal immigration.
He's the first line of defense in his community,
But
he can set the rules in his
Is it
community.
is it okay to only ask Mexicans to do this?
No, but I don't think Ted
No,
Hoskins is
it
saying
isn't.
that. Let's ask him. But I think what he's saying is all they have to do. It's a Jane Duker pulled over for speeding. Show a proper ID, and the problem's solved. Why is that such a burden? And the burden is only necessary because we have a federal government, Obama said it, that has failed on immigration, and therefore they can't enforce it, they can't do it. He wants to do something different. But I think Ted Hoskins, again, the guy has become a hero across the region.
Last comment, Jane or Chad?
I'm sure he's mortified that he is a hero of the Tea Party. I'm not sure that's what Ted Hoskins wanted to achieve.
Chad, anything
I don't
else?
know.
Or you want to leave with that?
Let's just end with that.
You can't get any better than that one. We'll come back with our parting shots here in a moment. The Big 550 KTRS. Menino's Market in Cotto.